Welcome! I am sewing for Pugsley, and I'm going to be bringing another doll in a second, and that's going to be Todd doll. And the Todd doll is going to be for a later sewing. So this is Ricky, and this is Pugsley's little striped black and white shirt. That's going to be in the future, and this is little Todd, and you can see, I'm going to take this out. One of them is 9" and the other one is 8". So right there, quite a difference. Quite a difference for these two little boys. So I'll be making both versions but right now I only have one cut out. So I'm going to put Ricky and Todd to the side and show you the patterns that I've made. So this is the front, this is the back. And I made these patterns myself. So you can see this is the front and the sleeve. The sleeve is right here. And I want to show you that I didn't have enough fabric, but this is going to be okay. This is the initial sleeve, but just because I'm a little bit short, that's going to be okay. I have the black thread ready, and I'm just, taking about a minute to give some people the chance to join us, because it will take about a full 24 hours for the live stream to upload and become available for it to be seen as many times as you want, as many times as you need. So in just 10 seconds, I'm going to get started. So let's get situated here and start making clothes. So let's start with the easiest thing, which are the pants. And let's see here. And I want to show you how I did the pants, or how I do my own pattern. Right here, what I did is I outlined little Ricky's body. And can you see right here, right over here, you can see how I outlined with the pencil, and I went and then I went over like that. That is this little spot over here. So I literally put him on paper, outlined his body, then I lifted his little leg up, and you can see the mark over here. That is for me to know that that is this part. And I'm going to move little Ricky. So just to give you a visual. So after that, I went and did the little J indentation. I gave myself a little bit more room right here. So it's because we're going to be using cotton, and this is the line right here. So I gave myself about 1/4 of an inch. And then from the J, I'm going down. So this is the pattern for the pants. I cut it on a fold. And this is how we have the pants. And I did the very same thing for the top. And the sleeves, as you can see, just get the mark over there for the sleeve. So let's get started with the pants. And this is light cotton. It's not terribly heavy. It's going to be raw, and what I mean by raw is that I'm not going to use a serger, because the serger is white and it's kind of hard to be changing all threads, especially since I might not have all 4 different type of black threads, and that's how much a serger needs. It needs 4 large spools of thread to make the serger work. And I'm doing this little casing so that it doesn't fray. this is the part where there's going to be more rubbing, so that when I put the elastic, I'm going to use the casing that we just did, and it's going to look very nice on the inside like that. So I have this very thin elastic that I use, and I'm going to start by folding it in and sewing it on the side, and that's going to keep it steady. So that's going to keep it in place, and this is where the elastic is at, and I'm going to be sewing right around there. I'm still going to pull the elastic just in case I touch the elastic. If I do, then I'm secured to have a little bit of a tug and pull in there. See how we're having that there? So I am pulling this elastic. And when I get to the end, I sew it in place. And that's what I just did right now. So that is the pants. And let me get the body to get an idea. I mean, I do have enough. I pulled it just enough for it to be here. And you can see on its own, it has a good amount of gather there. And now I'm going to sew the opposite side of the, what I like to call the J area, which is the crotch. And I'm going to connect it along with the elastic. Now that I have it connected, I can go ahead and take out that little extra spot, because when we have it together, it's, you know, it's a little bulk, a little bump in there. So the shorts are in the length of right below the knee, as we see it on Pugsley. I didn't recall what kind of socks he had. I know that he, in the picture from the newest Netflix Wednesday Adams Pugley, he has some long, tall boots. So I'm going to try to find some that belong to Ken. Actually, I have some that belong to Mary Poppins, a vintage Horseman doll. I think those boots are going to be perfect. But I want to be able to recreate Pugsley as much as I can. And this is going to be cross-listed, so I'm going to be making as much as I can. I have limited stripe fabric, so I'm going to be doing as much as I can. And that's why I'm going to be making one for 8-inch Todd as well, with this little buzz cut, that little furry head or fuzzy head. So now I'm going to pin it right here in the middle. I'm going to pin it in the beginning, and I need another pin so that I can adjust it and have the middle, the two connections together. So that's me putting my finger in there. And where do I have a pin? I put all my pins in a box, because my cats are, I'm just scared that they're going to be eating this. This is going to be off sewing, but my cat started eating thread, so I am scared that she's going to be eating these pins. Better be safe than sorry. So it's a little bit of a discomfort keeping these away, but I only keep one or two out like right now that I'm sewing. Okay, and that pin helped me out. So now it's time to get it out. Okay, so these are the Bermuda shorts for Pugsley. And like I always say, let's get some satisfaction in here that we are getting the work done and start dressing him. I'm going to turn this inside out. And this is for my own pattern. It should fit him. I gave myself plenty of room. You can see to the beginning of the video when it's after live, you're going to be able to see how much room I gave me. So I gave myself a 1/4 of an inch space in the fold area, and I did this just about the same. Don't want it too big, and I definitely don't want it tight. We need to be in that happy medium. So this is the back. So let's get this on him. And it's a really nice fit. So now we're going to get started with the top. So first thing is I need to make sure, oh, I cut this on fold. I wasn't even sure if I cut it, but okay. So I am looking at it just carefully, and what I was doing and making sure is that I had the inside part on the right side or the correct side so that I can sew them right now. So first thing is sewing this on. And my thread is at a medium. It's not loose, it's not tight. We're doing a medium stitch right now. And this is stretch knit material. It's, what should I call this? It's textured because you can see how we have it textured along here. See that textured there? So we just sewed the front and the back. And let me test this out. Since we were short, like I mentioned, I am limited on fabric. So it'll barely make it here on his sleeve. So I'm going to put tulle here because I need the help. So let me get some tulle here. Alright, I have the tulle above me. So I am going to sew this in here, and the tulle is going to help me hug the edge so that I don't have to lose too much of fabric to do the hem. Alright, there is one. And this is what I'm talking about right here. It's going to help me do the hem and keep it ever so tight to the edge. So since I have black thread, I am going to try to sew it right here on the black part. Right there. There we go. And you get to see on the back is really, really tight. And if I didn't do the tulle, it would be so hard, especially since this is stretchy material. It would be so hard. I would need to take at least about 1/2 inch of material to do the fold. And let me make sure that I have this on the right side. So let's do this again. Sew it right at the edge. And this is because I have very limited material. Oops. Okay. That is how close the stitch is to the edge. And now I'm going to do the fold again. And hold it right at the tip. And hold it with the pin. And there. So I put it in position so that I can do the hem. And I don't need all this tulle, so I'm cutting it very carefully, making sure that I'm not cutting into the fabric that I have here behind us. Okay, so now we're ready to be sewing the sleeve on. And one of the things that I also do is that I put it in the middle, or what would be the middle, and then I kind of go with my fingers to see that it's going to be okay, that I have enough, and then I have enough here too. So we have enough the way it is right now. So now I'm going to adjust this. And okay. So there is the sleeve. It looks really nice. And I'm going to cut the excess material or the excess fabric. And we'll do the other one, and I am thinking I'm not going to have a collar on this, their little clothes. We're just hoping that the neck is going to be all right by sewing it on a fold. So let's do the same thing. So I'm going to measure it by hand and start it right here. Sewing on stretchy fabric is a challenge, and especially on small sewing like this. So I always say slow and steady. We're not in a race. And there we go. So next thing is I'm going to try to do this on my own. Just sew it on a fold. And let's see how we do. So that's the back. So I'm sewing it in steps. I'm sewing it in parts. So this is the other shoulder area, and I folded, and I am kind of like pushing the fabric in the front in place. I was kind of like adjusting, pushing it. Okay, so now I'm going to sew the front. And we just sewed the front, and now we are doing the back part. So that looks great. So now that we did the collar, or we folded it in, I'm going to connect the sleeves and finish up the shirt or the top. And I'm going to pin the bottom and on the little armpit area to keep it all in place, because stretchy fabric, the name itself, it does stretch. So we're just going to be sewing the areas by part. First the sleeve, then the armpit, and then the side. Just 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're in the armpit, and did that carefully and slowly. And I am going to try to pull. You notice how I pulled it? I want to match the stripes. So tug one down, pull the other one up, and let this go here. Alright, so that we can match it. So that's how you match the sides. Well, I tried. So that's one. And now we're going to do the other sleeve. So after this, after I'm done, I'm going to quickly get me something to eat and look for the shoes or the boots and socks, and do list this in cross list this and do a short video. Alright, so alright, so that we just did one, we did the armpit, 2, and let's try this again to match the stripes. Okay, so now I am going to do the work on the hem. And I made it long enough to where it's going to be a long shirt. So let's see how it turns out. Boy, it's so hard, this stretchy material. I'm going to have to hold it down. Have to pin the, oops. I have to pin the beginning, the middle, and the end. So I'm pulling the string in the back, and that's helping me get this going. I'm putting my finger here to keep it in place. And you see how I just pat it down without pulling on the fabric itself, because it does move. Okay, that is nice. So I'm going to be cutting it even here in the back. And just getting rid of little excess threads. And this one was sewn at a fold here. So I'm going to loosen this up. And this is our back. And I am going to have a little button and chain loop connection in the back. Let's see here. I want to make sure that they both, let me see how we're doing with the stripes here. And we want to give enough room. We don't want to put the thread all the way up, at least in the, just about the middle. And now I am ready to turn this inside out and look at our shirt. All finished up. And just cleaning it up from all this thread. And here is Pugsley's little shirt. I'm going to take a second look at his socks and look for black solid fabric. I know I have it, I just need to find it. Okay, there we go. And let's get Ricky dressed up. Ricky as Pugsley. Put his arms up. And this is going to be easy because this is stretchy, very nice stretchy fabric. It's hard to sew, but it's great when you're dressing up your dolls. And here is his shirt. There we go. It's at his hip. I wanted it to be long. Thank you for joining me. I will do a short soon. Get me some breakfast or some lunch and join you on another live stream today if I have time. Thanks for joining me. Have a great one, everybody. Bye.